Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be interviewing Mark, my Taekwondo teacher. Just going to be asking him some questions about how he maintains a healthy and active lifestyle. So, let's get to it.
Hey everybody, my name is Mark Warburton. I'm the owner of Sarnia Olympic Taekwondo here in Sarnia, Ontario, and I'm a 6th degree black belt. I'm an international level coach and athlete in this sport, and I've been practicing Taekwondo for about 28 years now. So whatever kind of questions you have for me, let's hear them.
What inspired you to do Taekwondo?
My inspiration for Taekwondo was like martial arts movies and video games. The generation I grew up in, martial arts movies were like really big. Like this was before like MMA and stuff, when, you know, when you'd see martial arts on TV, it would be like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Hong Kong Kung Fu movies. Things like that were really inspirational. Also like video games, like I was a huge retro video game nerd. So I was like really big into like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, later on like Tekken, stuff like that. I still play those games a lot right now. I have an arcade system. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. But that's still my inspiration, honestly. Like my inspiration for martial arts is martial arts movies and video games.
How long did it take for you to start feeling the benefits?
Well, I started feeling the benefits pretty much right away. More mentally than physically, because when I started Taekwondo, I was 12 years old or 13 or so, and I was very awkward, very shy. I wasn't into sports at all. So this was kind of like the first real active thing that I was really invested in, but I felt a real sense of welcoming, and everybody was helpful and encouraging, and because of that, it wasn't like team sports, which I didn't like, because the good players played, and I was one of those kids who was not very good at sports. So I would kind of sit on the sideline, sit on the bench, or I'd be picked last in gym class and things like that. So with Taekwondo, everybody participated. We were all in like kind of an even playing ground as far as acceptance. So that really motivated me to work hard and really start to learn and progress a little bit. So I'd say I felt the benefits right away, but more mentally than physically, if that makes sense.
How do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated? I just love it. I'm a very glass half full person, very optimistic. So it doesn't really matter, if an obstacle or a struggle goes in my way. I love doing this. I love training. I love competing. I love teaching. I love coaching. So it's not difficult for me to stay motivated, because like I said earlier, I didn't really get into sports and other type of things that most kids did at a young age. So this was kind of like the first thing I was really in love with. And it's what I really love to do the most. So staying motivated is easy. Staying motivated is really, really easy for me.
How many tournaments have you won? Yeah!
How many tournaments have I won? I won a lot more frequently when I was a color belt, when I was a young kid coming up through the lower belt ranks. Once I got to my red belt, which was pretty close to your black belt, then I started competing in the black belt division at tournaments. And it took me a lot longer to start doing well in the black belt division, because it's a lot more challenging. And I was always in that mentality where I wanted to compete at a higher level than I technically was, because I wanted to put myself in challenging situations, because that's how you get better. So since I've started competing in black belt, it's like off and on. I've won a bunch of medals internationally at open tournaments around the world. I've won a couple of medals at nationals here in Canada, and I'm a dual citizen, so I actually got silver at the nationals in Great Britain as well. And I've gotten, but as far as gold medals, I've gotten a few international gold medals. I've won the Ontario Provincial Championships a bunch of times over the years. But as far as a number, I can't give you a number. I'd just be guessing at this point, because my first Taekwondo tournament was in 1995, and I'm still competing now, so.
What's your favorite part about teaching and doing Taekwondo?
Well, my favorite part about teaching Taekwondo is just seeing any student achieving a goal and being happy. That doesn't have to be a competition, a medal or a trophy or anything like that. It could be a technique that they're struggling with, something that they've been having a hard time learning, and you can see that they're working hard at it, and then they finally get it. It could be a student passing the next belt, it could be breaking a board, it could be learning the next curriculum. It could just be finally learning a new technique in class. Anything. That's such a great feeling as a teacher. As a coach, I mean, seeing athletes win spots on the national team or win medals wherever is a great feeling, especially if it's somebody that was struggling a lot at the beginning. I've had some athletes who they had a hard time at competitions. They would, even lose their first match quite often, have big setbacks, but then go on to achieve great things just through hard work and perseverance. That's a great feeling. As far as doing Taekwondo myself, just being able to still step out there and do it is a great feeling to me. I'm at that stage where obviously when I'm out there, I'm trying to win. I'm talking about myself as an athlete. I'm obviously trying to win when I'm out there, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the journey, and as long as I can be out there doing what I love, I'm happy. The wins and the losses, they come and go, but it's the journey and the memories and the way of life itself that it stays with you forever. So make the best of it, right?
Have you always been physically active?
Definitely not. I definitely haven't. Like I touched on earlier, I was an awkward kid. I wasn't really into sports. I was the kid who was more into like the comic books and Star Wars and video games, and I kind of still am that person. But I definitely haven't always been physically fit or active. Even my first number of years doing Taekwondo, I just went to classes and practiced and went to tournaments, but I wasn't really overly athletic. Like I touched on, I started competing as a black belt, I'd say around the time I was 17 years old. And that's when I started taking it more seriously and started getting in better shape because you kind of have to compete at that level. So, but ever since then, I haven't really looked back. I've always tried to keep myself in good physical condition ever since then.
What do you have planned for the future?
Well, for the future, we're in the process of growing our Taekwondo school here in Sarnia right now. So right now we have a facility that's around just over 2,000 square feet, but pretty soon we're going to be really expanding into a 6,000 square foot facility. So lots of extra space. We're going to be enrolling lots of new students. So that's my primary focus for the future. As far as myself in Taekwondo, I have the nationals in Great Britain in about 2.5 weeks, so I'll be competing there. And I have a couple of competitions in the early part of the year, but my focus mainly now is on teaching and coaching and teaching young students and young athletes like yourself to go after your own goals. So I like to stay active. I'll always like to stay active and compete when I can. And, I like to jump in and train and kick with you guys, but my focus is on the students now. So that's more like what I'm looking for the future. But in the near future, I'll focus on eating this sandwich right here because it smells very delicious.
What does your daily routine look like?
My daily routine, it's pretty simple. I'll wake up. First thing I do when I wake up is I will drink at least 500 milliliters of water right away, just get my body started, feeling good right away. I usually do a little bit of mobility workout, a little bit of just to get everything feeling good for the day. But I always try to do something like a little bit light physical activity, stretching, even if it is before I even eat breakfast. It's very important to start the day off good. If you start the day off on the wrong foot, then you're setting the tone for the day. So I try to start off every day very positive. I like to read a lot of positive quotes and things like that. Sometimes I even I have a whiteboard and I write down just some positive things to remember for the day. So when I wake up, I see it and I can just have that in my mind because it's the first thing I saw that day. And then I teach Taekwondo primarily in the evening. So I don't really I go too crazy throughout the day doing stuff. I'm very relaxed, very laid back because I want my energy to be peaking right around the time that I either have to teach or train. So, but as far as a routine, food wise, I try to space out. I try to have 6 small meals a day. I drink a lot of water, just keep my body hydrated. Also to prevent injuries, you can pull muscles and stuff like that if you're not very hydrated. So my routine's pretty simple. I try to get a full 8 hours of sleep in complete darkness at night. So if I've decided that I'm gonna go to sleep now, I turn all my devices over, everything. I don't want any light at all in the room. But yeah, that's kind of my day to day.
What what do you make sure to include in every meal?
Every meal, I like to have vegetables in every meal in some form. So even if I'm not eating a meal that has vegetables in it, I'll take like a greens supplement as well, and I'll drink like a shot of that down with my meal. But a lot of times I like to have very balanced, lots of vegetables, a little bit of protein. In the evening, I won't eat any carbohydrates at all because I'm not really concerned at all with like my appearance. It's more so I want my body to be functioning on good energy. So I'd like, I won't really eat any like simple carbs or anything like late at night, anything like that. So yeah, I try to stick to. I'm pretty simple. I'm a very boring eater. I'm a very boring eater. A lot of like plain foods. I'm one of those people who, when I go to the restaurant, I'm complicated because I have to change whatever I order. Okay, I'll have this, but none of this, but this and this and this. Like, I don't like a lot of sauce or things like that on my food. So, very boring eater.
What are some tips you would give other people so they can be healthier?
So the first thing I would say to do is don't hesitate. Just go for it. Try to make a little bit of an improvement in yourself every day. And it starts off simple. Like, you can just go for a walk, drink more water instead of sugary drinks. Try to eat healthier. Try not to, get involved with negative influences in your life, doing things that we know are unhealthy, but people out there still do them anyway for whatever reason, right? So a lot of people wait too long. A lot of people say, oh, January 1st, New Year's resolutions, I have to start getting in. Why can't you start in the middle of October? Why does it have to be January 1st? Because then putting it off, it just helps accumulate things the wrong way, right? So I would say, as long as you're taking a little step forward, little steps in the right direction, there's still steps in the right direction. They don't have to be big steps. And don't be in a race with anyone else that you see. Just try to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. All right, just 1% better every day. That should be your goal. 1% better every day, whether it's spiritually, health-wise, physically, even getting a better night's sleep. A lot of people, they underestimate the value of, or the importance of getting a good night's sleep. Complete darkness, sleep a full 8 hours every night, wake up early. Just little things like that you can do to feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself spiritually, then you'll want to push yourself more physically. So a lot of young people, they look on Instagram and social media and they see people posting pictures and stuff and they feel like that is health and fitness. But no, health and fitness starts inside, right? It's like, how do you feel? It doesn't mean you have to have like a 6-pack abs. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean healthy, right? Skinny is not healthy, right? It's just how you feel about yourself, all right? And too many people, they try to be like what they see on social media, but it's not reality. I mean, I could alter a photograph on social media if I wanted to, right? We don't have to do that. Just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And then tomorrow, be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. And you're going in the right direction.
That was all for our interview today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye!